Alright, I'm going to do an update video on this Logwood stove. I've had a lot of people ask me questions about it and things over the last few years. I've had this thing, this is going on 3 years now, 3 winter seasons, and it works perfectly. Put it up here. And it works great. You know, we've had this thing, like I've said, for 3 years, 3 seasons, and it's been fantastic. And it's the model 1261. It's a Logwood stove. This is United States Stove Company. Of course, it's made in China. But, you know, Chinese do make good stuff too, though. I mean, we haven't had any issues with this, and it's functioned fine, you know, and that's why, you know, that's what I want to say, you know. If anybody has any, you know, questions about them or wonders about them and things, this is 3 seasons in, and winter is really kind of just starting here. Officially, winter doesn't start till next week, but, you know, it's been cold here. It's been, you know, we're getting ready to have a major winter blast, you know, and temperature right now outside is probably only in the upper 30s, maybe mid, you know, or low 40s. It's not really cold at all, but you know, it gets cold in the house. This is our only source of heat that we use in this house. We used to have gas heating in this house, and that was the only heat that was in the house that heated the house itself. You know, everything else is electric here, but you know, I ran a, you know, gas one year, you know, well, 1 month really. And what happened is it was like I had my gas bill was $400, and I had it shut off, you know, and they redid our road a few years ago, and I just had them remove the whole meter because I haven't had gas heating here in probably 12 years now. And we did use, my wife and I and the kids, we did use space heaters for a while, but it ran up the electric bill. You know, so I was trying to cut down giving any money to any utility companies as much as possible. And I ended up buying this wood burning stove, and it's saved us a lot of money on our utility bills. And it actually works better than the gas heating, central heat that we had here does. So, I mean, it works better than that. And there's been times that, you know, if we really get this thing going, it can be 20 degrees outside. You know, that's 10 below or 12 below, basically, for you Celsius people. 10 degrees, you know, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, which is below zero. So, and it'll be, you know, if we really get it going, it can be 80 degrees in this house. You know, sometimes almost too hot, even when it's that cold outside. But, yeah, just kind of let you know that, a little update, that this thing works good, you know. And, you know, it's still redneck like the way it was before. I've reset the pipe and reset everything before. You know, every year I clean it out and reset it, and all that. I got this on top of it right here. Just an old coffee pot, but I put water in it because the air will dry out with the wood burning stove in your house. So you want to keep some water in there. And you know, I got this thing for many good reasons. One is to cut, you know, down on utility bills and things like that, and have a good source of heat, better than space heaters. You know, for one thing, those things are dangerous, and you know, it ran up the electric bill at the same time. But also that you know, I always think about an emergency because, you know, I'm in Oklahoma. We don't get snowstorms and stuff like they do up north a lot of times, but Oklahoma, you never know its weather. It's unpredictable. Like, for instance, this coming on this 7-day, Friday is supposed to be in the 60s, 65 degrees, something like that, 63, 64. But the very next day, the high is only supposed to be 19, and temperatures are going to be falling. They said it's going to be the coldest temperatures we've seen in 2 years. You know, we don't get a lot of snow here a lot of times in this area. I mean, parts of Oklahoma do, but we don't here. Now, but we have been known to, of course, you know, and we just never know. We never know. So, but we do get ice storms a lot, and ice storms have a tendency to knock out power. So I got this thing, you know, as an emergency heat. That way, you know, if there's no power here, we can still stay warm. We just won't have the luxury of a TV or internet or anything, which is okay, you know, because we'll still be fine. And being that this stove has 2 burners on it, we can cook on it if we have to. The only time I've ever done anything is I've used it to heat water to make coffee before, just to do it, you know. We haven't had to actually have, you know, cook on it yet. But that's the thing about Oklahoma, you never know. You never know when it's going to, you know, knock your power out with the storm and stuff. You know, over here, you know, you can see a little bit of light through the openings and stuff like that. It looks worse on the video than it actually really is. It is barely anything, but it does not make any difference on the temperature of the place. It could be insulated a little more better, yeah, sure, but I don't worry about it. But you know, that's a good fire going in there, and it's, you know, it's putting out a lot of heat. So let me show you something here. It says 11:29. It's actually really 1:30, 1:29. It's the wrong time, but that's the right temperature. It is almost 78 degrees in here right now. So that's how warm it is. You know, it's almost too warm because it's not that cold outside. But it was cold in here earlier because I had a fire going last night. Because it does get, at night, it still gets below freezing or down to close to freezing in the 30s. So, you know, so at night, you know, I don't ever get up to put any fire in it. I put wood in it to, you know, at night before I go to bed. But then, you know, I don't get up in the middle of the night to put any wood in it. But the house still stays relatively warm, you know. But then I just get a fire going and we're good to go. But I just wanted to do an update on this video, you know, on this stove, because let people know it's 3 seasons in working. You know, this is the 3rd season of having this. It's worked wonderful. It's done its job. It's a great emergency tool in case you need it. You know, this, you know, would work for anybody if you want to heat your house, if you want to heat your shop, anything like that. And I got this stove at Atwood's. We have these places called Atwood's here in Oklahoma. I'm not sure where else they are, but I got it at Atwood's. It's $199 just for the base stove. The pipes, you know, it's a little more, you know, a little more money. But I probably paid only about $250, $260, you know, even after taxes, $260, $275 after taxes total, you know, for the pipe and everything to get this stove running. And, you know, they have different models and things like that though, but I mean, for, you know, a couple, $200 or $300 bucks, I mean, you can get this, you know, you can heat your home great. And it works wonderful, you know, so we haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. So it's been a great stove. But any questions, any more about it? Like I said, it's been 3 years in. Fantastic, fantastic. Don't hesitate. I've seen them at Lowe's also, so same price, $199 for this stove. This model 1261 Logwood US stove. So they have another model that's bigger than this one, and it's $299, but it's, you know, probably about 1.5 times this size. So that'd be a good one for a bigger home and stuff like that. But there you go. I figured I'd add this on real quick though. A lot of people may ask, what these are right here. These are bricks. I have bricks in the bottom of them. You know, a lot of people, you know, it's good to use fire bricks. I do that to keep it from burning out the bottom, you know, which shouldn't do it, but I do it on just to protect the bottom, because you can actually almost touch the bottom of this thing, and it's, you know, you feel the warmth, but it's not going to burn your hand. But these are just bricks, regular old bricks, but they're old school bricks. They're not new bricks. You need to find old bricks, and there's old bricks as you can find laying around, which is what I did. These things are probably 80, 100-year-old bricks from an old building or something, old barns or whatever. And I just lined the bottom of it with it. You know, protects the bottom, keeps it from burning out, you know, and, you know, burning out the stove any quicker, because this, you know, it can last forever if you take care of it right. So, but that's what that is. You know, I figure somebody else. You can also just buy fire bricks, you know, which will give you a little bit more room, because they're not, the ones I've seen are not quite as thick as a regular brick. But you know, that helps a lot, and it keeps it from burning out the bottom. But you know, I just lined, you know, bricks in there, so it's all the way to the back, so it's no big deal. And just figured, you know, because I know somebody's going to ask, so that's what that is. Those are just regular old bricks. But like I said, you have to get the old bricks, because the new bricks, a lot of times there's still moisture and stuff like that in them and things, and they're not made quite the same as they are back in the old days. And the people who have read stuff about them, they will explode and stuff. So get the old bricks if you're going to do it that way. You know, you don't have to do this, but I do it just to add life to the stove and things. But there you go. Thanks for watching.